As promised, in this video, I'm going to explain why third parties in the USA always fail. The secret to understanding this isn't to look at how our presidential election system works, which is relatively straightforward. The key is in taking apart how our members of Congress get elected. Here's the bottom line. We have what they call a first-past-the-post system for our Congress. Okay, what does that mean? We currently have 435 seats in our House of Representatives, and in each of those district seats, candidates need to win the most votes to get elected, or in a couple of states, a majority. Same with our 100 senators. So to win, the victor literally needs to come in first. But imagine if we lived in a country where instead of having to run for the House in hundreds of individual districts, a party could just run for the House nationally. The voters would vote for parties rather than individuals, and then the party would get a proportion of House seats depending on what percentage of the vote they won. That's crazy, you say. Where does that happen? Well, no place except Germany, South Africa, Spain, Indonesia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, Sweden, and over 120 other countries. It's called proportional representation, and most of the world uses it. Take Sweden, for example. Sweden has a Congress called the Riksdag, and every 4 years, Swedish citizens vote for the hundreds of seats in that body. But they do so by voting for their favorite political parties. So in 2022, they voted for the Center Party, the Christian Democrats, the Liberals, the Green Party, the Moderate Party, the Social Democrats, the Sweden Democrats, and the Left Party. That's quite a range of parties. Because Sweden has a parliamentary system, if any party gets a majority of the vote, they can name the prime minister. But usually no party gets a majority, so the most popular parties form coalition governments with smaller parties. Then that coalition names the prime minister, who, like our president in the USA, appoints their cabinet ministers and runs the government. That means that in Sweden, smaller parties like the Greens or Liberals have a chance of being part of the Riksdag and getting a seat or two at the table of the prime minister. Compare that with our current presidential election system, in which an independent candidate can get tons of votes across the country, but win few or no seats in Congress and never have any presence at the White House. In the years before the First World War, the Socialist Party of America won millions of votes in federal, state, and local elections. In 1912, its presidential candidate Eugene Debs won 6% of the national vote, but the party never captured more than 2 seats in the House of Representatives. Bottom line, because it is so hard to win a majority in U.S. federal elections, or even come in second, the only parties that can pull this off are the ones backed by the rich and powerful. Why did our founders create this system? Well, they were upfront about it, as you will learn in part 3 of this video series.